The feeling that God is not listening to your prayers can be distressing. It's as if an invisible wall has risen between you and heaven. Have you ever wondered if your words are reaching Him? Or perhaps if there are hidden reasons behind this silence? Imagine a father watching his child, ready to help, but waiting for the right moment to act. Is God doing the same? Often, the answers we seek are closer than we think, hidden in lessons we still need to learn. What if the delay is, in fact, an invitation to patience? A test that challenges us to trust, even when everything seems unclear. It is in this space of waiting that faith is strengthened and spirituality deepens. What feelings arise in this silence? Anguish? Frustration? Or is there a greater purpose in all of this? The journey of understanding why answers do not come can reveal surprising truths about God Himself and about ourselves. Prepare to dive deep into this mystery and discover how it can transform your relationship with prayer. Expectations and timelines. The expectations we have regarding our prayers often do not align with God's timing. While we, as humans, tend to want immediate answers, God may have a longer plan in mind. This difference in timing can generate frustration and the feeling that our pleas are not being heard. Many people often feel disheartened when answers do not come at the speed they expected. It's as if we are waiting for a bus that never arrives, and this makes us question our faith. Moreover, this waiting can be challenging. In times of need, it is natural to wish for everything to be resolved quickly. However, it is important to remember that God has His own timing and ways of acting. Sometimes the answers we seek may require patience and trust. Therefore, it is essential to cultivate hope and perseverance, even when the signs seem absent. Waiting can be a test of faith, but it can also be an opportunity to reflect and grow. Often, what we perceive as God's silence may actually be an invitation to deepen our relationship with Him. Instead of focusing solely on what we want, we can use this time to connect more with the Creator. Prayer can transform into a richer dialogue, where we learn to listen and understand what God truly desires for us. This shift in perspective can bring comfort and a sense of purpose. Moreover, it is crucial to remember that what we consider a no answer may, in fact, be a response different from what we imagined. God may be guiding us towards something better, even if we cannot see it at the moment. This trust in a greater plan can help alleviate anxiety and uncertainty, allowing us to surrender to divine timing. Finally, this difference between our expectations and God's timing teaches us to be more flexible in our faith. We learn that even when we do not understand, we can trust that there is a purpose behind every situation. This trust can be a strong foundation in times of doubt and discouragement. Motivations and intentions. When it comes to prayer, the motivation behind our requests is equally important. Praying with pure and sincere intentions can make all the difference in how we perceive the answers. If our prayers are driven by selfishness or superficiality, we may not feel God's presence in the same way. This can lead to the impression that our pleas are not being answered. Sincerity in our requests is fundamental for a more authentic relationship with the Creator. Additionally, it is common for people to worry more about what they want than about what they truly need. Sometimes we pray for things that seem urgent, but are not, in fact, the best for us. In this sense, reflecting on our intentions can help us align our desires with what God has in mind. This introspection can lead to more meaningful and impactful prayers. When we focus on motivations, we may discover that the true essence of prayer lies not just in receiving, but in connecting. Praying with an open and genuine heart brings us closer to God and allows us to see the world in a broader way. This connection can guide us in moments of uncertainty and help us better understand what we are truly seeking. Moreover, Purity in intentions can transform the way we deal with God's responses. If we pray honestly, even if the answer is not what we desire, we can more easily accept it. This happens because we know we are seeking something that truly matters and not just satisfying a fleeting impulse. This emotional and spiritual maturity is crucial for our growth. Finally, clarity in motivations helps us cultivate a spirit of gratitude. When we understand that what we ask for may not be what we really need, we become more receptive to the blessings we already have. This not only strengthens our faith, but also teaches us to appreciate the little things that often go unnoticed. The role of free will. Free will is a fundamental aspect of our relationship with God. It gives us the freedom to make choices, but it also means that not all our prayers will be answered in the way we desire. God respects this freedom, and that can be hard to understand. Sometimes the answer to a prayer may simply be no, and that does not mean God is not listening, but rather that He is allowing us to make our own choices. This is particularly evident when our prayers involve decisions that affect other people. God gave us the ability to decide, and intervening in certain situations could undermine that essential freedom. For example, if someone prays for another person to make a specific decision, God may not answer that prayer because He is respecting that person's choice. This dynamic can be challenging, but it also serves as a reminder of the power of free will. Moreover, understanding the role of free will can help us better accept situations that do not change. When things do not happen as we wish, we can reflect on the choices that were made, both by us and by others. This helps us see that, even amid difficulties, we are all in a process of learning and growth. Life is full of nuances, and recognizing this can bring us peace. It is also important to remember that, even though God respects our free will, He is always present to guide us. When we ask for wisdom or clarity, God can help us make better decisions, but the final choice will always be ours. This partnership with the Creator is a beautiful and powerful aspect of faith, as it gives us the responsibility to shape our own destiny. Finally, understanding free will invites us to be more empathetic. By seeing it as a gift, we can respect the choices of others and understand that everyone has their own journey. This helps us deal with frustration when prayers go unanswered, as we remember that each person is navigating their own path under God's guidance. Spiritual growth and trials. Often, the lack of answers to our prayers can be a challenging moment. However, it is important to understand that these difficulties can be valuable opportunities for our spiritual growth. When we face trials, we are forced to reflect on our faith and question what we truly believe. This self-analysis can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and God. Difficulties also have the power to make us more resilient. Each obstacle we overcome teaches us something new and prepares us for future challenges. Thus, when we find ourselves waiting for a divine response, we can use that time to strengthen ourselves and prepare for what is to come. The resilience we develop can be a testament to our faith and an inspiration to those around us. Moreover, these waiting periods can help us deepen our relationship with God. When everything seems uncertain, it is natural to seek the divine presence more. Prayer becomes a dialogue where we seek not only answers but also comfort and understanding. This intimacy can bring a renewed sense to our spiritual life. It is interesting to note that, as we go through these experiences, we often find new ways to see life. Difficulties can teach us to appreciate the little things and to be more grateful for what we have. Spiritual growth does not happen only in moments of joy, but also in the struggles we face. Finally, the lack of answers can lead us to a more authentic relationship with God. Instead of just asking, we learn to listen and to trust. This trust, even in the midst of uncertainty, is a sign of spiritual maturity that can transform our lives. Connection and intimacy with God. Prayer is more than just a simple list of requests. It is a means of building a relationship with God. When we pray, we should see it as an opportunity to connect in a deeper way. The lack of answers can actually be an invitation to deepen that connection, rather than viewing it as divine rejection. When we feel that our prayers are not being answered, it may be a sign that we need to revisit our intentions. Instead of focusing on immediate results, we should ask ourselves, how can I draw closer to God through this situation? This reflection helps us shift our focus and seek a more intimate relationship based on trust and love. Furthermore, prayer should be a safe space to express our emotions. Often, when we talk to God about our frustrations and fears, we find comfort and clarity. This honesty is essential for a healthy relationship. When we allow God into the most vulnerable areas of our lives, we create a stronger bond. Intimacy with God also reflects how we handle our daily interactions. As we become more connected to Him, we are better able to see His presence in the small things. This awareness can help us cultivate a grateful heart, even when the answers are not immediate. Lastly, continuous and sincere prayer can lead us to an inner transformation. As we seek this connection, our character and attitudes can change. What once seemed like an agonizing weight becomes a path to a richer and more authentic relationship with the Creator. Mysteries of divine will. When discussing God's will, it is common for people to feel a certain confusion. After all, we often pray asking for something specific, and when we do not receive the expected answer, we begin to question. The truth is that divine will is a mystery that goes beyond our understanding. There are greater plans and purposes at work that may not be evident to us. Often, what seems to be God's silence may, in fact, be an invitation to trust in something greater. Sometimes the answers we seek may not align with what God has in mind. This does not mean our prayers are ignored, but rather that the timing and manner of response are different from what we imagine. It is important to remember that God sees the whole picture, while we often focus only on a part of the situation. Accepting this mystery can be challenging. It is natural to want clear and immediate answers, but faith requires a certain degree of surrender and trust. When we face a lack of answers, we may feel lost, but this is an opportunity to deepen our relationship with God and seek to understand what He desires for us. Sometimes the answer lies in learning to wait and trusting that, even without understanding, God is working in our favor. Moreover, the mysteries of divine will can teach us about humility. Recognizing that we do not have all the answers and that there is a greater plan can help us cultivate an attitude of gratitude and acceptance. Life is full of surprises, and often what initially seems like an obstacle reveals itself to be a disguised blessing. Finally, the mystery of divine will is an essential part of the spiritual journey. Embracing this unknown invites us to walk by faith, even when we do not have all the answers. By accepting that life is full of uncertainties, we can open ourselves to possibilities and learn to trust that somehow everything will make sense in due time. As we reflect on why God may not be answering our prayers, it is important to remember that communication with the Creator goes beyond words. Sometimes His silence is a way of teaching us, shaping our character, and strengthening our faith. Have you ever stopped to think that, in moments of waiting, God might be preparing something much greater than what we asked for? Living spirituality is also about trusting in divine timing. He may be guiding us to a deeper understanding or calling us to act differently. How about taking a pause and asking yourself, what does God want to teach me on this journey? Do not be discouraged, for even God's silence is part of His plan. He is always by your side, even when He seems distant. Instead of feeling helpless, why not seek new ways to connect with Him, worship, reading the Word, and fellowship with other brothers and sisters in faith can open surprising doors. And you, what have you been doing while waiting for God's response? Share your experiences in the comments. Let's explore this path of faith and discovery together. God has something special in store for you.